Welcome to Watch, Review, Repeat. This is the podcast where two best friends discuss the latest in film and television and then do it all over again the following week. My name is Colton Brown, and joining me is Andrew Meadows.
How you doing, man?
Good. I feel good today. I feel pretty good today. I feel well rested. I understand that you don't feel so well rested yourself, but I think you're game for a good episode.
Yeah, man. It's always nice to sit down and talk about shows and movies and the usual stuff.
Yeah, well, we're going to have plenty of shows and plenty of movies to talk about on this episode.
A whole year's worth.
Yes, we're going to be doing a look ahead to 2018. Many of the television releases, as many of the film releases that we can really get around to in a reasonable span of time. That's our goal today, is to keep things on the reasonable side of things. We're usually not very good at making it so, but we're going to try our hardest. So, kind of before we get into anything, just a little bit of housekeeping. Our first bonus episode is now available on Patreon, covering the Marvel Cinematic Universe Phase 1. We were joined by our friend Henrique Jamie on that, and we had a blast recording it. So it's up on Patreon right now. All you have to do is head to patreon.com/watchreviewrepeat or click to our premium section over on our website, watchreviewrepeat.com. And trust me, there was redundancy there. There's plenty of buttons to get you subscribed to our Patreon, so you'll get access to that. And it was a really fun episode, so I think it's well worth checking out.
It's the first in a 3-part little mini-series we're doing on the Marvel Cinematic Universe?
Right, so we're doing phase 1, phase 2, and then phase 3 up until Avengers Infinity War drops in May. So that'll be going on for the next few months. So definitely keep an eye out for that. We'll have more information kind of at the end of this episode to kind of get you guys where you need to get. So I think we can just get right into it with some of the news. So
this week, I did something I usually didn't do. I watched a sporting event on television.
Yes, and you were so gracious as to do a live snap of it. Well, I guess not, a live Snapchat feed of sorts. Throughout the Super Bowl, the sporting event in question. And I greatly enjoyed your commentary, for one. I don't know if you sent it to anyone else or if it was just meant for me, but there was some gold in there, let's put it that way.
Yeah, a few special people get my snaps. If you would like to get my snaps, add me on the Snapchats.
Yeah. You
can add me at TigerBloodIV. And that is my Snapchat handle or username or whatever. And you can have access to all my wonderful snaps.
They're pretty good. It's worth checking out, guys. I mean, take them up on it. But in regard to the Super Bowl, congratulations are in order for the Philadelphia Eagles, who have won their first championship. Pretty cool. I like seeing some new teams get in there and win it. I'm hoping the Jaguars are next. We'll find out next year. I'm not overly confident, but I'm certainly more confident than I was coming into this current season. So this isn't a sports podcast. I don't want to get too bogged down with that. But more relevant to our interests as far as the Super Bowl is concerned, tons of TV spots, a lot of good commercials. Is this podcast a Tide ad?
My shirt's clean.
Yeah, I mean, mine is too. So
it's crazy how much money they freaking spent. I mean, I wonder what the numbers are for Tide.
Well, it's not just them. It's really all of them. I mean, like, all the fucking car companies always blow millions, because I think a 30-second spot, if I'm not mistaken, is a multi-million-dollar obligation. So it's pretty ridiculous how much money gets spent on the Super Bowl. And I have to wonder, do the returns really kind of justify that sort of investment? But the fact that companies do it year in, year out suggests to me that I guess it probably does, but yeah, I don't know. Anyway, like I said, there was a lot of good content related to us, or that we're interested in, that kind of came out during the Super Bowl, and we're going to talk about a lot of it. But just kind of due to the structure of this episode, we're going to be running through basically. There's just tons of TV shows and tons of movies. So when it comes up, we'll get into kind of whatever the new trailer footage or posters or whatever the case may be, whatever came out, we'll get into it then instead of kind of front loading it like we usually do with our latest news. So we do have just a few pieces of news that we're going to touch on, and these are mostly for any projects that are happening beyond 2018, so they kind of fall out of the scope of our main content for the episode. So first thing I wanted to kind of mention is that the great Stan Lee was hospitalized, I guess about a week ago at this point. And it's definitely scary hearing about that for someone that is a 95-year-old man. But he was hospitalized for an irregular heartbeat. But within, I think, about a day or so, he was discharged back at home, said he's, quote-unquote, feeling good. So we hope that Stan Lee feels good forever. I think that would be definitely the ideal circumstance. But I had a chance to meet him very briefly last year at one of the comic conventions here in Florida, and it was a brief photo op. I didn't really get a chance for any one-on-one other than saying, "Hey, how you doing?" Snap, and then walk away. So it was,
I
certainly
met
not
him, though. So you got a one up on me.
Yeah, I mean, it was one of those things. It's just like, well, the man at the time was 94 years old, so you take advantage when you can. So glad he's feeling well. And we look forward to his cameo in Black Panther.
Absolutely.
So over in DC, the Shazam movie has officially moved forward and has begun production. It's about Billy Batson, who is a teenager who can, with the aid of a magical wizard, become the superhero Shazam. And he has a whole slew of powers, and I don't know. I mean, this whole thing sounds like fun. It's got Zachary Levi of Chuck fame playing Shazam. I know we talked about it a few times on the podcast, so I did want to make mention that it's happening, baby.
And it's produced by Zack Snyder.
No, it's not produced by Zack Snyder.
Oh, well, shit. Wonder how that's going to turn out.
I don't know. I mean, maybe things are looking up. We'll see. I mean, I think it'll be fun, but we're not really working off of much other than the cast. But yeah, that's cool. In a galaxy far, far away, the creators of Game of Thrones have been tapped to write and produce a new series of Star Wars films.
Oh man,
this is pretty insane to me. So, creators of Game of Thrones, David Benioff, D.B. Weiss, they're doing a whole set of new films, just the way that Lucasfilm announced that Rian Johnson, the writer and director of Star Wars: The Last Jedi, was coming back to do his own thing.
They're making a lot of Star Wars movies, man.
Yeah, per the official announcement through StarWars.com, they did confirm that it's going to be separate from both the Skywalker saga and the trilogy I just mentioned that Rian Johnson's working on. And as far as we know, I think the Obi-Wan movie is still happening, so I guess that's 7 movies that we know are officially in the works, and that's obviously not even including Solo, which isn't out yet.
And we've got 6 announcements within, or even 7 announcements within 3 months, 4 months, something like that.
Something like that. So yeah, since we started the podcast, I mean, they said Lucasfilm is definitely. It seems like they're going balls to the wall with Star Wars, and I guess I don't know. That might be off-putting for some in the sense that is it too much Star Wars? Or, are we getting Star Wars overdose? But I like Star Wars a lot, so as long as they put quality products out there, I'm definitely on board for this. And to this point, I don't have any reason to doubt the abilities over at Lucasfilm to kind of cull talent into making exciting projects as far as Star Wars is concerned. So
we'll see what happens.
Yeah, sounds good to me. My speculation, and again, this is just speculation, is that after Episode 9 comes out, that they'll probably alternate these two trilogies. Just because, I mean, that would be a good way to kind of take a break from the mainline saga and, have a connected series of films that come out every 2 years. So the production schedules would work out for both. And
you brought up a really cool thing. It could be like a, what is it? Old Republic. It could be like an Old Republic kind of situation.
Right, yeah, I'd mentioned that kind of when I guess Henry actually was the one that sent us to us in the first place. But yeah, I mean, there's so many time periods that they could choose to explore. They could choose to explore a time period that's never been explored in any of the other media, whether it's now canon or non-canon. I don't know. There's tons of places they can take it, and so far the details are pretty scant as far as where they will choose to take these stories. So I imagine the fact that they have both, D&D and Rian Johnson in place to do these trilogies, to me suggests that they probably have somewhat of an idea of where they'd like them to take it. So we'll find out, I'm sure, obviously. And I don't know about the coming months, but certainly in the coming years, we'll definitely get a lot more information on this. So stay tuned. Last bit of news before we get into our 2018 stuff is Joaquin Phoenix in talks to play the Clown Prince of Crime, the Joker. In Todd Phillips's untitled Joker origin movie. Now, An untitled Joker origin movie to me sounds terrible, especially when you add in the fact that Todd Phillips, largely known for the Hangover fame, is involved. That said, Joaquin Phoenix, pretty good get if this comes to pass. I think that's actually really good casting.
No, yeah, he's a phenomenal actor. I mean, if he can, I would have said the same thing about Leto, though. You know what I mean?
Right. So I think that's kind of the treacherous territory, I guess, you kind of walk into with something like this, in the sense that, yeah, I mean, Jared Leto could have been good as Joker, but then you gave him that design. You put David Ayer in charge of that movie, Suicide Squad, and we saw the end result. So, I mean, there's at this point, there's not really much to suggest that this isn't going to be as bad as that. But I don't know.
My expectations are quite low. So
yeah, I will place them very low myself. As with really anything that DC is doing with film, I take a look at it and I blink a few times and I'm just like, alrighty then.
That's happening. So,
but we'll see. And again, not a whole lot to work with as far as this is concerned. So
we'll see where it goes.
Yeah, we'll see where it goes. All right, let's get into the stuff for 2018, boy.
Looking ahead.
Yeah, we're looking ahead. This isn't going to be an exhaustive list, just to kind of preface everything before we really get into it. There's a billion TV shows that are coming on, and of those billion, I'd say probably 98% we may not get a chance to watch, or we're not even going to be interested in watching them. There's just an inundation of fucking content. So there's something for everybody. That's the nice thing, is there's something for everybody, but the downside is there's not enough time in the world to watch it, even if it is for you.
Which brings us up, okay? If there's a show that's on this list, or if there is a movie that is on this list that you would like to hear our opinion on, send us a message, get in contact with us in one of the many ways, because we're definitely open to covering other... I mean, at least I am. I think I probably share you probably share my mindset with this. If somebody wants to hear our opinion about a certain particular show or movie, I would definitely be game to giving it. So keep an open ear for the ridiculously long list of content that's coming out over the next year. And if you're interested in something that we don't seem to be picking up on, just let us know and we'll see if we can cover it.
Yeah, absolutely. We're open to suggestions, and we're still working. At least I'm still working my way through shit that I missed in 2017 as much as I can. So,
like you said, there's just so much stuff coming out all the time.
Right, exactly. So I'm just going to kind of rattle off a kind of a list of returning shows that we know are coming back in 2018. And I'm going to open it up a little bit more for maybe some further discussions on some of those that maybe catch our eye a little bit more than others. So just kind of running down the list. Coming back this month, February, we've got Star Wars Rebels, Ash vs. Evil Dead, Walking Dead coming back to AMC, and iZombie premiering on CW. Moving into March, we've got Atlanta coming back for its second season, Jessica Jones coming back for a second season over on Netflix, Silicon Valley, HBO, Series of Unfortunate Events, Netflix. April, we've got Legion. Both of us were big fans of Legion, coming back for a second season, early April. And Westworld and Handmaid's Tale towards the end of the month. So strong April for sure.
Absolutely.
And then just... kind of moving beyond that, I mean, the way that TV works is a lot of these are kind of set within a few months of airing. So those are the ones that have kind of, dates already scheduled. And then there's a whole, myriad of, TV shows that we know are planned to come back in 2018, but we don't know when that's happening or anything like that. So it could be early 2018, could be middle of 2018, could be late 2018, or it could be not 2018 at all. Who's to say? But kind of what we can expect to see. Expanse Season 3, American Vandal Season 2, Luke Cage, Daredevil, both coming back for a couple new seasons. A lot of Netflix stuff, actually. A lot of Netflix stuff. House of Cards, 6th and probably final season. Arrested Development, Season 5. Making a Murderer, 13 Reasons Why. Glow, Ozark, Castlevania. Man in the High Castle over on Amazon. Preacher, Better Call Saul. AMC, Homeland, The Affair on Showtime, and then Big Little Lies and True Detective on HBO. And so of those, you said I'll kind of open this up a little bit. Any of those kind of catch your eye?
There's a handful of them, really. I mean, I'm not quite caught up on Star Wars Rebels, but I think I've watched 4 or 5 of the episodes so far from season 4, and I'm excited to see where it goes because this is going to be the conclusion of the series. So I'm pretty hyped up about it. I really enjoyed Rebels. I'm gonna enjoy seeing it wrap up. Evil Dead. I've started. Finished season 1. It was pretty good. I will definitely be invested in season 2, and I will watch season 3. The latter part of the season 1 started to show a lot of Evil Dead character and stuff, and it was awesome. Excited about Series of Unfortunate Events. I watched season 1. I thought it was super stylish. It was a lot of fun. Legion, Westworld, and Handmaid's Tale is top tier fucking TV. So,
right, like I said, April is fucking stacked.
Yes. Right now, I don't think you get better than those TV shows. I mean, Handmaid's Tale, I think that was my number 1.
Is your number 1? Yeah.
And Legion was my number 2.
Right.
For last
and if
year.
if Westworld was a 2017 release, it would have been in my top 3. So
yeah, absolutely, those would have been my 3 shows. So it doesn't get better than April. April's gonna blow the doors off. But you also got The Expanse, which we're both vested in. You're vested in because you've actually read some of the books and stuff.
Right.
Of course, the Netflix superhero shows and whatnot. But Castlevania, I'm excited for. Apparently, they're going to double the length of the season.
Right. Yeah, I think we talked about that a couple weeks ago. That it's supposed to be coming back in the summer sometime. So we do have sort of a time frame for this one, and 8 episodes of, I guess, probably 25 minutes ish, something like that.
Yeah. So I'm excited to see more of that because it was really cool. And True Detective season 3.
Yeah, it's a big question mark.
Yeah.
You know.
First is probably the best show I've ever seen. Season 2 was probably some of the worst TV I've ever seen. So we'll see what happens. I mean, it can go either way.
Right. You know, hopefully at worst it falls somewhere in the middle of those two.
Right. Hopefully it's worth finishing.
Those are some serious fucking extremes between season 1 and 2. Like, certainly the sharpest drop off in television quality I've ever seen. The nice thing, at least, is that I can, do the anthology nature of True Detective. You can just literally just never talk about season 2 ever again, and it's totally fine. You don't need to, so that's kind of the nice thing about it is season 3 is very much a fresh start, an anus tart, if you will, which brings me to Arrested Development, which was one of the ones I'm definitely very excited about. That was an Arrested Development reference from season 4, which was the Netflix original. My understanding that for season 5 is they're trying to get the cast together. Basically, they ran into the issue with season 4 where everyone was basically too big for their own britches. Not really. It's just everyone, at the time that they made Arrested Development, the first 3 seasons, they were really talented cast, but none of them really kind of blew up in the way that they did after that show ended. And so when they came to make season 4, they could only really get the full cast together for a few days. And so they had to work around that very big limitation. So I think season 5, the plan is to kind of keep it more in line with the first few seasons and try to get everyone involved, or at least, involved together more than they did in season 4. So I think that'll be awesome. But just other ones that that was it for you, right? I don't want
No, I'm good.
Cut you off. All right, other ones that I'm definitely excited about. I mean, pretty much most of the ones you mentioned, honestly. I don't really feel the need to get into too much with any of those, but just kind of looking back from the top. iZombie coming back end of this month. I think iZombie is low-key the best show on the CW right now, and I understand you're not a big fan of the CW stuff and its current iterations, which, as far as the superhero stuff, I honestly think is more than fair. I know you've kind of called it quits on it, and there's times when I've come close this season for most of the shows. Honestly, I think Legends is the only one for me that I'm like, I would keep this on the rotation. The other ones, I'm like, I feel committed. I feel committed, but I'm like, this is rough. I don't know if it's just I don't know if I'm getting older or if the quality is just getting worse. I'm inclined to think the latter, but maybe it's a bit of both. Yeah,
it's just hard with like we just said. There's so much content out there. It's just I don't really got time to. I don't want to spend time with like mediocre, like bad to mediocre shit. I understand the investment.
Right.
But,
yeah. No, I mean, you're not wrong. Maybe maybe you're actually in the right. Anyway, no, seriously, though, I think iZombie actually is quality television. Even relative to the CW standards, I think that it would hold up on other channels too. So I'm looking forward to that. I think season 3 left it in a very interesting spot going forward. So I'm curious to see how they kind of take it from where they left off. But beyond that, March, Atlanta coming back for a second season. Atlanta was fucking phenomenal. It's got Donald Glover in it.
Lando.
Yep. Yeah, Lando up in Solo: A Star Wars Story, which we'll talk about later on in this episode. First season was great. It was very, I mean, it was out there. It was totally out there, but it was a great cast. It was hilarious, and it really kind of caught you off guard here and there. And I'm looking forward to seeing what kind of zaniness ensues with this one. So definitely one to put on your radar if you check out season 1 if you haven't.
I will check out season 1. You talk about that one pretty highly, so
I think you'll enjoy it. So I think it'd be well worth your time. Jessica Jones season 2 coming back, and on that note, we got a new trailer for that a few days ago.
Yeah, man,
looks pretty cool. Kristen Ritter is phenomenal as Jessica Jones. I always look forward to seeing her, very happy attitude on the screen.
She owns that character, though. We talk a lot about character branding and stuff in our bonus episode. But I mean, she is Jessica Jones.
No, she's fantastic. The trailer looked interesting. I mean, looks like they're exploring her origins a lot more, which they kind of teased that thread in season 1. But I am curious to see, villain wise, where they're going to take it. It seemed like we got a pretty obvious allusion to Kilgrave at the end of the trailer. I don't know if that's just a PTSD kind of thing.
Yeah, it's got to be flashbacks,
or if he is back. They say in the trailer that she came back from the dead, so obviously they're not holding that back as a big plot point. So maybe other people can come back from the dead too, So I don't know. Very interesting. Looking forward to that, and it's about a month away, so that's cool. You mentioned Legion. Yeah. Enough said. Westworld. We got a trailer for season 2 for Westworld. I don't know if you talked about that. I think it looks really cool. I think it struck a very nice balance of being very definitively Westworld while also telling you absolutely nothing about season 2.
Which is in and of itself definitively Westworld, right?
That is fair. Yeah, absolutely.
It's good stuff, man. It's such a good show.
It looks striking. It looks interesting. Season 1 obviously left it in a very interesting spot in the sense that I don't think anyone really knows how they're gonna move forward with the show. I mean, it definitely seems like a pretty radical change for the status quo. So I look forward to it. Let's put it that way.
Oh, yeah.
What else? You mentioned The Expanse. Hopefully that comes back sooner than later. I know it has typically been a January, February release, and obviously at this point in time, it's not happening for probably this month or so. So I don't know. Those seasons are great. Which, by the way, season 2 is up on Amazon. I think that just went up on Amazon. I think yesterday. So do yourself a favor, catch up on seasons 1 and 2 of The Expanse on Amazon, and get yourself ready for season 3. What else? Luke Cage. Luke Cage looks pretty cool. Danny Rand coming back to be the thundering dumbass that he usually is, I'm sure.
Maybe he knows Kung Fu, though.
I mean, hopefully it's just Luke Cage just making fun of him. Be like, the fuck are you? What are you doing? Get out of here, idiot. That'll be fun. Daredevil season 3, I think probably expected towards the end of the year. Defenders, rather, certainly left Matt Murdock in a pretty interesting spot. So that'll be very interesting to see how that moves forward. But other than that, yeah, I mean, I think that's those kind of the ones that certainly interest me. And, obviously I'll be watching. I mean, I'll try to watch those, but I'll certainly be trying to watch other ones that I've been keeping up on too. So yeah, I mean, throughout the year, I'm sure we'll have episodes on some of these, or we'll just be kind of generally speaking on a lot of these. But getting into new television shows that are premiering in 2018, we're going to play a little game here. You ready? You want to play a little game?
I want to play a game. Saw television? Is that what you're saying?
I mean, that could be fun. I mean, as far as I know, it doesn't exist. But I would take a Saw TV show on a premium network over the 19th entry in the film franchise. Doesn't that sound more interesting?
It does sound more interesting, like a game at night, or a game a week. That sounds
Right.
cool.
Anyway, that's not what I was talking about. But now, my game that I propose is that I will tell you about a new television show coming in 2018, and you will give me one of two responses. You will tell me either yay or you will tell me nay.
Oh, fuck yes, I'll play that game.
All right, let's begin. Well, this one's kind of cheating because it's already out, but the Netflix original series Altered Carbon actually has been up probably about a week or so at the time of this recording. I know I have not watched it, and I know that you have watched it. So
is this essentially a recommendation? Do we want to skip?
Well,
this?
Yeah, skip that. Let's hold off on that.
Okay.
Because I don't want to spoil what we may or may not be covering for our next episode.
All right.
That is what we're covering for our next episode. We'll get into it later, but I did want to mention that it is up. So if you're interested in that, and if you're interested in what we're going to talk about,
Go
make
watch
sure
it.
you check it out while you can. Moving into March, though, we got a show called Hard Sun coming out. This is coming to Hulu, and why I think it might interest you. This is kind of like I'm going to try to sell these shows. Maybe that'll be the games I'm trying to sell you on it.
pitch.
Like I don't know what it is, but I'm going to sell you on it.
All right.
Okay, let's try this. First of all, it is written and created by Neil Cross, who you may know for a series on BBC called Luther.
Ooh.
Now, this is about a couple of police officers that investigate a routine death of a hacker, stumble upon proof of a mysterious cosmic event, and kind of face the reality that the world is facing certain destruction in 5 years. And that's the general gist of it.
I'm gonna say yay.
6 episodes.
You don't
Yeah,
have to finish.
yeah.
You're done.
You done? All right. I'm a yay on it too.
I like 6 episodes. I like the showrunner. It sounds like a neat concept. I'm all in. Yay.
All right, he's all in, baby. All right, next on the list, March 21st, Krypton coming to Sci-Fi. So this is a prequel of sorts, I guess. It takes place, I guess, before the destruction of Krypton.
Part of your balanced meal. Your morning breakfast. Krypton.
Yes, indeed. But before the disruption of Krypton, or Krypton, that is usually known, and B, obviously before Kal-El himself, Superman, arrives on Earth. So it's, I guess, about his, I don't know, grandparents. Yes, it's about Superman's grandfather. I'm looking at it here, and it's coming to us from David S. Goyer.
I'm not.
I'm hold on. I forgot. I'm trying to sell you on it.
Yeah.
I shouldn't sigh heavily about it.
Oh yeah, you should. That's not good.
Well, it's got the Phantom Zone in it. It's got, so David S. Goyer says that, it's a gateway into the DC science fiction universe. They could delve in other times, maybe even other planets. Who's to say? They've got a 7 to 8 year plan in place. That sounds awesome, right? And you're gonna see so many familiar DC characters. Don't you worry about it. You're gonna see
Superman's grandparents.
Superman's grandpappy L, as he's known. All right, what do you got? What do you got on this?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nay.
Yeah, that's where I'm at right now. If I hear otherwise, perhaps some glowing reviews. Not expecting it. Let's put it that way. But if it does end up being something worth watching, then maybe I'll throw it on the list. But I've just got so much.
I think if it was
Superhero shit
something
I'm trying
worth
to keep up
watching,
with.
I think another network would have picked it up, especially with it
Maybe.
being rooted in DC stuff. You know what I mean?
The Expanse is on Sci-Fi, so I would say at one point in time I would agree with that statement.
No,
but
it's not
based
even
on
that. It's just I feel like if somebody pitches something rooted in DC or Marvel to a major network, I feel like that major network's more apt to pick it up. You know what I mean? Other than Sci-Fi, but I don't know. I could be wrong. So we'll see what happens, I guess. But at this point, I'm nay, heavily nay.
All right, moving on. March 26th over on AMC, The Terror takes viewers on a suspenseful and harrowing journey, which centers on the Royal Navy's perilous voyage into uncharted territory as the crew attempts to discover the Northwest Passage, faced with treacherous conditions and a bunch of shitty other things. The crew is pushed to the brink of extinction, and it highlights all that can go wrong when a group of men desperate to survive struggle not only with the elements but each other.
Ooh, what's my network?
AMC.
Does it give? Is it supernatural stuff, or is it like cabin fever stuff? What do you think after when you?
I don't know. As I feel like I saw somewhere that it was supernatural, but I'm looking at this press release from AMC, and I don't see anything that suggests that. So I don't know if that's intended to be a surprise that I just spoiled, or if that's just not the case at all. I'm inclined to think the latter based on this. So I think it's more of just a
cabin fever kind of thing.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, I think it might have some horror elements that it plays with, but I don't think I think it's gonna
mostly be drama about people stuck on a thing, whatever, trying to.
Yeah, I think it's probably just the horrors that man brings to light.
I'll say nay. I'm waiting to be impressed. That's what I'll say. I'm nay.
I'm yay on it. It sounds interesting. I don't know if I'll watch it necessarily right away, but if it reviews well, it's something that'll go on my list. So I'm going yay on it. All right. Next, The Last OG on TBS. So this is, I think, co-created by Jordan Peele, writer and director of Get Out.
Okay.
Starring Tracy Morgan as an ex-con who is shocked to see just how much the world has changed when he's released from prison after a 15-year stint.
That could probably be pretty funny.
Yeah.
I'll say
it's good to see Tracy Morgan kind of doing things after that accident that he had. So
was he in a bad accident?
Yeah, a few years ago he was in a real bad car accident.
Oh shit.
So
all right, well we'll see what happens. I'll say yay on that. It's got good people in it.
Agreed. I'm going yay on it too. All right. What's next? Relic over on Cinemax, which is killer spelled backwards in case you did not catch that.
Ooh.
This is a 6-episode limited series, and it is said to offer a surprising take about a serial killer because it's a story that's going to be told backwards.
Memento style, huh?
Yeah, Memento. They're going full Memento with it.
Okay.
Based on that, how do you feel about it?
Yay.
Going yay?
I'll go yay.
Me too. Like I said, it sounds interesting. Again, there's probably going to be a lot of these, and I'm like, it sounds cool. I think on paper it sounds cool. Will I watch it eventually? Maybe right away. Who's to say? So, bear that in mind as
give
we
us
answer
trailers.
These questions.
Give me something to look at.
There might be some trailers for some of these. I mean, I've seen trailers for a handful of these, but not all of them. And I think there's probably some decent marketing material out there. So, if it is something that interests you, then
might
maybe
be worth looking into.
Research and
right.
Yeah, right. Get more of an informed opinion on it. But June 7th, Marvel's Cloak and Dagger coming to Freeform.
Ooh, ABC Family.
ABC Family rebranded to fool you into thinking that it's not actually ABC Family.
We're not fooled, fuckers. We know who you are.
So this is obviously based on the Marvel comic of the same name. It's about teenagers Tyrone and Tandy who awaken to newly acquired superpowers and find that they're mysteriously linked to each other. There was a trailer for this a while back that I saw that I thought looked pretty solid. Certainly for something that's on Freeform, I know that's an immediate kind of like, ooh.
Buyer beware.
Right. So I don't know. Based on that, though, I mean, based on that and based on it being Marvel, I'm willing to give it a whirl for at least an episode or two just to kind of see how I like it. I mean, it's probably not going to be worse than Inhumans, right?
It can't be.
It's certainly the lowest bar. So I think this will be fun. I don't know if it'll be good or anything, but I think it'll be fun. So I'll give it a whirl at some point. So I'm a yay on it.
Yay! I agree with you on that. Yay!
Tom Clancy's Jack Ryan, Amazon, August 31st.
Give me more. What do you got?
Oh, that's right. I'm selling. I keep forgetting. Well, there was a Super Bowl spot for this that you probably saw if you were paying attention.
I did.
During the commercial breaks. It's about CIA analyst Jack Ryan, who we know has been previously portrayed in film by Alec Baldwin, Harrison Ford, Ben Affleck, and Chris Pine.
All right.
He stumbles on a suspicious series of bank transfers.
Ooh. All right.
That's it. That's the byline.
All right.
No, but just as I say, it pulls him out of the safety of his desk job, catapults him into a deadly game of cat and mouse throughout Europe and the Middle East, with a rising terrorist figurehead preparing for a massive attack against the United States and her allies.
Okay, who's playing Jack Ryan?
It's Jim from The Office.
Oh, I'm totally fucking in.
Except he's buff.
He's swole.
This is swole Jim from The Office.
I'll take it. Sold.
Yeah, I'm a yay on this. I think the footage that we saw I thought looked good.
Yeah.
Jim from The Office is cool. So John Krasinski, I guess, technically speaking, but he's Jim from The Office, really. All right. So we're both yay on that?
Yay. Yeah. Yay.
All right, cool. Moving into TV shows that, as of yet, do not have release dates. We'll keep this going as rapid fire as we can. Maniac over on Netflix, starring Jonah Hill, Emma Stone, reuniting them from Superbad, 10-episode series, and it will at least be partially directed by none other than Cary Fukunaga.
Holy shit.
About the fantasy worlds of two patients in a mental institution.
100% sold.
Agreed. Say no more, fam. Yay.
Yay.
On Netflix, The Ballad of Buster Scruggs, a anthology series written, directed, and produced by Joel and Ethan Coen.
Yay.
Collectively known as the Coen brothers, because they are brothers and their last name is Coen. Six episodes here. Each one, I think, is standalone, but I guess there's a connective thread in the sense that Buster Scruggs will, I think, be the connective thread, portrayed by Tim Blake Nelson, who you might recognize as Dr. Samuel Stearns from The Incredible Hulk, which I know we watched recently. He was Mr. Blue.
Okay. He has a throbbing head.
Yes, that's the one.
Okay.
We do also know that Liam Neeson, Brendan Gleeson, James Franco are some other names expected to appear in this.
100% yay. Netflix does it again.
Yep, yay on this one for me too. The Umbrella Academy, Netflix as well. Television adaptation of the comic book series of the same name, written by Gerard Way.
That name sounds familiar.
Well, he's the lead singer of one of the greatest bands of all time, My Chemical Romance.
Dude's taking a stab at it, huh?
He actually wrote. I mean, this is an older series. I mean, not older, but it's over a decade old. The actual original comic book was written in 2007, so it's just now getting adapted. Obviously, I think it was supposed to be a film for a while, and at some point, obviously, that made its transition into being a TV show. But as far as the actual storyline of it, because I want to sell you on, I'm going to sell you this. I'm going to sell the shit out of this. It takes place in an alternate history where John F. Kennedy was never assassinated. It's set in 1977. It's described as a dysfunctional family of superheroes akin to Marvel Comics' Fantastic Four. 43 superpowered infants are inexplicably born to random, unconnected women that were previously not pregnant. That sounds precarious. Yeah, there's some other descriptions here, but I think that kind of gets the vibe of it. What do you think about that? Give me a yay. Give me a yay or a nay.
I'm gonna say nay. You're gonna have to show me a good trailer or something. I got to be sold on some visuals.
Right, fair. Okay. Netflix. Oh, this is an easy sell. Lost in Space, motherfucker.
Fuck yes, I'm sold. Yay.
No, I understand. You have a childhood connection to Lost in Space. Is that accurate?
Yeah, I dressed up as the dude from Friends.
Matt LeBlanc.
Yeah, he played the.
Well, you didn't dress. Okay,
I didn't dress up as the dude from Friends. I dressed up as his character in Lost in Space. Can't remember his name.
Right.
I think he was like the older brother or something. Either way, he had this really badass helmet that would like go cling, 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 and wrap up his face in metal. You push a button and like it'd shoot up, kind of like Star-Lord style, but like in metal in like chunks. It was really cool. Anyways, I didn't play him. I dressed up as him one year for Halloween. I remember really, really enjoying Lost in Space. Dad turns into a fucking spider creature. Julie, or did he turn into a spider creature, or was that some bad guy?
I don't remember.
Yeah, I can't remember either. Lost in Space, man. That's some really good stuff.
All I can say is, if you want to preserve your childhood integrity, don't ever revisit the movie.
Oh, are you telling me it didn't age well?
I am not suggesting anything. I'm merely stating my opinion, and you can take it or leave it.
Who? Well, I mean, I don't need to be sold anymore, but are there any big names related to this Lost in Space?
I think the main guy that is Toby Stevens, who was the lead on Black Sails over on Starz. I kind of scanned the cast list. I don't think there's any huge names on it.
Okay.
Well,
fuck yeah, I'm sold Lost in Space. I'll watch Lost in Space. Yay.
All right, very good. Homecoming on Amazon. This is coming from Mr. Robot creator Sam Esmail.
Yay.
Okay.
What's it about?
I guess that It's a psychological thriller that centers on a caseworker at a secret government facility, played by Julia Roberts, and a soldier eager to rejoin civilian life, played by Stephen James.
Okay. So I can get a little PTSD action probably in here somewhere, and a little bit of I don't know. Sounds like it could be interesting. I'll take it. Mr. Robot does a real good job with all that stuff.
Yeah, I'd say the Sam Esmail connection's enough for me to give it a yay for sure. So, yeah, cool. The Romanoffs on Amazon as well. This is the next series from Matthew Weiner, creator of Mad Men. It's an anthology series centered around people who believe themselves to be modern-day descendants of the Romanov family. He says that every single episode, of which there will be 8 of them, has a different cast, different story, different location. So I guess it's a little bit Black Mirror-esque in terms of the construction of the season.
Okay.
And the Romanov family is the last dynasty that ruled Russia until the Russian Revolution.
Yeah, yay. That sounds cool. I'll take it.
Yeah, again, it's one of those things, the show creator connection, I'm in. You don't need to elaborate further.
Right.
I did, but you did. I didn't need to. So yay for me. Castle Rock, Hulu, based on the stories of Stephen King, intertwining characters and themes from the fictional town of Castle Rock. There was a trailer for this during the Super Bowl. I'm pretty sure.
Based on that trailer, I'm yay.
I thought it looks pretty interesting, and it's Stephen King. He's got some great ideas. I'm not familiar with kind of what this is based off of. I mean, it sounds like they might be doing a hodgepodge of different things that Stephen King's done throughout his years as an author. But yeah, I agree. Based on what we've seen, I'm a definite yay on it as well.
Yeah.
Also, Hulu, The First. It's got Sean Penn as the main character. It follows the first human mission to Mars and explores the challenges of taking the first steps towards interplanetary colonization.
Yay! That sounds right up my alley, dude. I'll take that.
Agreed. Easy yay. Showtime. We're going on to Showtime now. Kidding. Starring Jim Carrey in his first regular television role since the 1990s. Half-hour series. He plays Jeff, also known as Mr. Pickles, a children's television icon and owner of a multi-million-dollar empire. And it kind of explores at a time period where his family begins to implode, and it's just about him kind of navigating through that crisis. 10 episodes per season. It sounded so nice and happy to start with, and it quickly took a very sharp turn. I mean, it's Jim Carrey, right?
I'm going to say this is probably going to be a dark. Is it pitched as a dark comedy?
I don't know. I'm not sure exactly what the tone they're going for here is. It's
if it is pitched as a dark comedy, then it sounds like it could be. It sounds like it could be pretty good. And I would say yay. If it's pitched as a drama, I would say nay. You know what I'm saying? Depends on how they end up trying to pitch how they end up doing the show. So
I guess it's Michael Gondry, who directed Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind, I guess, is involved with this show, so maybe it'll strike a similar tone as that. I don't know.
That was a really good. I'm going to say yay. That was a really good. Movie.
So yeah, I don't know. We'll see. I agree with your general assessment, though. I mean, as long as it's not, making Jim Carrey into a dour, transplanting him into a very dour show, I think would be a misstep. So as long as it strikes a balance of some sort between comedy and drama, maybe if it was some sort of dramedy, it might be interesting.
Yeah, take it.
So yeah, all right, cool. It's a yay / nay for me as well. City on a Hill over on Showtime. The writers of Good Will Hunting.
Okay.
Ben Affleck and Matt Damon. Producers on this show. And it's about it's set in Boston, early 90s. City's rife with violent criminals, and then suddenly things change. It's a fictional account of what was called the Boston Miracle, and it's got Kevin Bacon as a corrupt yet venerated FBI veteran who's invested in maintaining the status quo, and then there's a change agent, a district attorney played by Aldous Hodge. And that's kind of the general idea behind it. Based on that, where do you stand?
I don't know, man. I don't know. I'm gonna say nay. I don't know.
I'll say nay with subject to change if I see a trailer that looks really good. I mean, Showtime. I think Showtime's usually pretty good
solid.
with their television
Right.
shows. So I'm inclined to think
It's got good.
that,
It's got good names behind it. It's just I'm
Right.
not terribly interested. I mean, I'm not saying nay from a quality standpoint. I'm saying nay from an interest standpoint. It doesn't sound something that like interests me a whole lot.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
This is
I
where
agree
if
with
somebody
that.
emails me and says, you need to cover that Matt Damon and Ben Affleck shit, I'll say, all right, I'll cover it. I'll watch it for you. But if it was left up to my own devices, I probably wouldn't end up diving into it. So
Right. Snowpiercer TNT.
I'll cover this one, though, on my own devices.
Yeah. Based on the...
You've said enough.
Well, for those who are not familiar with Snowpiercer, I'll just do a brief summary, just to keep it consistent with everything else we've talked about. Set 7 years after the world has become a frozen wasteland, series centers on the remnants of humanity who inhabit a gigantic, perpetually moving train that circles the globe, and raises issues of class warfare, social injustice, and the politics of survival.
How does it not interest in everybody? Everybody should be on board with this. A fucking train that circles the globe. That alone is fucking cool.
Yeah, so this is, it's actually, I guess, I don't know if it's considered part of the same universe as the 2013 film that had Chris Evans in it, directed by Bong Joon-ho, but it says it is based on that film, so like I said, I don't know if it's, I wouldn't think it'd be a sequel,
Right.
but maybe it's just inspired by it. Maybe that's kind of the idea. It's just that maybe a television adaptation kind of taking the same spin on things, because that was originally based on a graphic novel from many years prior. So, yeah, yay. Sharp Objects, HBO, based on the book by Gillian Flynn, who also wrote Gone Girl, centers around reporter Camille Preaker, played by Amy Adams, who returns to her hometown to investigate the murders of two young girls. What do you think about that?
Who's attached to this?
Well, probably the biggest connection is Gone Girl. So he said it's based on a book written by the same author. So
Okay. Gone Girl was supposed to be really good.
oh, you didn't see it? Okay, well,
Wait, which one? Gone Girl, is that the one with Casey Affleck?
it's the one with his brother Ben Affleck.
Ben Affleck was in that one?
Mm-hmm.
I want to say I saw that. Was Gone Girl or Gone Baby? Are there two different things like that?
Those are two different things. One of those has Casey Affleck, and one of those has Ben Affleck.
I saw the Casey Affleck one.
Okay.
Anyways, I'm sorry, I'm getting off on a tangent. I'll say yay.
Okay. Yeah, I'll go yay on it too. I'm in for Amy Adams. That's enough for me.
Yeah.
Fahrenheit 451, starring Michael B. Jordan and Michael Shannon. Technically, this is a TV movie, but fuck it, it's going here anyway.
Right.
It's on HBO.
Yay.
It's,
Based on source material.
It's based on the book, by Ray Bradbury. So yeah, future where media isn't opiate. History is rewritten and firemen burn books. Good cast, strong source material. Yay.
Yay, definitely.
And last but not least, Titans, over on the DC Comics digital streaming platform that they're expected to launch in 2018. Got Robin, Starfire, Raven, Beast Boy, Hawk, and Dove. I mean, we've seen some promo images from this.
Yeah, we've talked about this a little bit.
We have talked about it a little bit. It's coming to us from Jeff Johns, head of DC, and Greg Berlanti, who, the Berlanti verse is the CW verse, basically. So a lot of strong ties to current DC television. But as far as I understand it, it's not going to be connected to those. So I think it's kind of doing its own thing.
Right.
But obviously, they could change that pretty quickly the way they did with Supergirl. But again, kind of based on what we've seen for it. Where are you at with it?
Yay, I'll try it. I think I'm excited to see if DC, independent of all the train wreck that the motion pictures are, I think they have good source material, and I think they can have the capacity to do good things. And I think their animated films are a good notion towards that. You know what I mean? Their animated stuff is really good. So we'll see what happens.
All right, I'm going yay on it too, and that does it for our television. Let's get into some film.
All right, on to film.
Sticking with our current month, February. I guess taking a little bit of a step backwards, actually, to talk about something that was a surprise drop during the Super Bowl. Well, I guess technically after the Super Bowl, but...
badass trailer, by the way. It was an awesome trailer.
Yeah, so it is now called the Cloverfield Paradox. It was originally titled God Particle.
Which is a far better name.
I agree with that, but you got to put Cloverfield in there somewhere so people know. People know that it's Cloverfield 3. Yeah, basically there was a TV spot, and this had been kind of rumored, kind of the day of the Super Bowl that this is going to happen. But there was a TV spot that aired during the Super Bowl, kind of showing our first bit of footage for this movie, and then it was saying coming very, very soon. And sure enough, it was up literally right after the Super Bowl ended on Netflix. And interesting because Netflix apparently paid $50 million to secure the distribution rights to this from Paramount. So, I mean, honestly, that's a pretty sweet deal for Paramount because they probably made just as much money as they would have, possibly even more than they would have had they released this theatrically, which they, up until this happened, had been intending to do so. It was supposed to come out in April. So I don't know. I mean, you've seen it. I haven't seen it. I think we'll talk about it at some point. Presumably after I see it, that would probably make the most sense. If I had to speculate. But it's pretty badass that they just kind of stealth dropped it like the way they did. I thought that was really fucking cool.
It's pretty cool.
So, yeah, kind of moving into, I guess, everything going forward though. Black Panther, February 16th.
Yay.
Yeah, we talked about it before, and those Disney checks are still coming. So, of course, we're going to give it some glowing reviews, just like all the critics have been paid off to slap it with a 98% certified fresh score on Rotten Tomatoes as of recording this. Surely they've all been paid, right? It can't just be a good movie. There's no way it would be a good
Disney
movie,
does
right?
have infinitely large pockets. I mean, they could pay every reviewer.
Yeah. We're going to talk about this pretty shortly, so we don't really need to get too in depth with why, because we will certainly have our reactions coming up within the next couple of weeks. But I will make mention that the soundtrack album produced and curated by Kendrick Lamar is now available, and it is incredible. I'm still going to be listening to it on repeat to kind of develop my favorite tracks and stuff like that, but just from listening to it a couple times in a row, it's immediately hooked me. And sometimes it's hard with music, sometimes they take a little bit of time to grow on you, and this one's for me is just an instant, yeah, this is fucking dope. So putting it out there, check it out, streaming on Spotify, buy it on whatever, iTunes, who cares, just listen to it. Also on the 16th, Early Man. I don't know if you know what this is. This is it's animated by the same folks that do Wallace and Gromit and stuff like that.
Okay.
It's kind of like it takes place in like caveman times.
Oh yeah, I saw that.
Got Tom Hiddleston, Eddie Redmayne, Maisie Williams as the voice cast. It looks kind of fun. I mean, I don't know if I'll see it immediately. Black Panther is certainly going to be taking my attention for that particular weekend, but I think it looks like fun.
Yeah, I don't know. We'll see. I tell you which one I'm excited about. That's like this kind of animation. I don't even know if we're going to talk about it, but the one with the Dog Island.
Yeah, Isle of Dogs. Yeah, it's I don't know when that's coming out. It's probably on the list somewhere, right?
I don't know, but I'm pretty excited about that one. That one looks pretty awesome.
Let me give it a quick googs.
Click little googs.
Scheduled to be released on March 23rd, 2018. So, jumping ahead a bit, is it on the list? I guess it's a limited release on 23rd, so I didn't see it before. But yeah, that one looks fucking great. Wes Anderson, The Fantastic Mr. Fox, if you haven't seen that,
Aces,
make it a point to do so.
Good.
Yeah, and Wes Anderson's just a very strong director across the board. So yeah, that was jumping ahead a little bit.
Apologize about it.
No worries. It was relevant. So yeah, definitely something I'm excited for. I agree with that. Sticking with February though, 23rd, we've got Annihilation, based on the book by Jeff Vandermeer, directed by Ex Machina's Alex Garland, starring Natalie Portman, Gina Rodriguez, Jennifer Jason Leigh, Tessa Thompson, Oscar Isaac.
Absolute yay.
Yeah, this looks really fucking cool. It looks visually stunning, and I mean that's a ridiculously stacked cast, and Ex Machina is great. So the pieces are certainly on the board, let's put it that way. So I'm definitely excited for that one. 23rd, also Game Night, Jason Bateman, Rachel McAdams.
Yeah, that one looks kind of fun.
Yeah, so I think it's like a horror comedy, I think is kind of the idea behind it. So yeah, it seems, I go for, I feel like my usual comedic tolerances, I feel like I usually go for things that aren't just strictly comedies, because I think that's hard to make something that's a strictly comedy and make it work really effectively. So
make it compelling.
You spin it. You make an action comedy or you make a horror comedy or something like that. Like I don't know, that's kind of more my vibe. So yeah, I think it looks like it could be fun. we'll see how it is, but it looks like it could be fun. So I'm in on that. All right, moving into March. March 2nd, Red Sparrow with Jennifer Lawrence. J-Law playing a Russian spy.
Yay.
Yeah, this looks interesting. It's directed by Francis Lawrence, who did the last 3 Hunger Games films, Catching Fire, and then the 2 Mockingjays. As much shit as I think that certainly the first Hunger Games and Mockingjay warrants, I will go on the record as saying that I think that Catching Fire was actually a legitimately really good film. I mean, not amazing by any stretch of the imagination, but really good. And I say that as someone unfamiliar with any of the source material, but I was very pleasantly surprised when I saw that movie because I had seen the first one and I thought that was garbage. So
yeah, see, I haven't seen. I think I saw the first one.
Yeah, well, and if you stopped at the first one, I wouldn't blame you. So, yeah, that's cool. Also on the same day, Death Wish remake from Eli Roth, starring Bruce Willis, showing up for his paycheck.
Nay.
Yeah, I'm not feeling it either. March 9th, A Wrinkle in Time from Disney.
Yay.
Chris Pine, Reese Witherspoon, Gugu Mbatha-Raw, who was also she was the lead in Cloverfield Paradox.
Oh yeah, she's awesome. She's cool.
Black Mirror as well.
Yeah,
San Junipero.
Yeah,
and Oprah motherfucking Winfrey.
Oh, it could go either way, honestly. But I mean, it looks cool.
I agree. Based on the trailers, I don't know how to feel. I feel like it could be a colossal disaster. But I also think that it could be very interesting, and it's directed by Ava DuVernay, who I think is wonderful. She did amazing work on Selma a few years back. So, based on the pedigree, again, I got to go with my gut feeling of
yay.
I'll go with yay on it. You say it doesn't mean it's going to be good, but I'll go with yay on it. March 16th, Tomb Raider, based on the video game of the same name.
Definite nay.
But it's got Alicia Vikander in it. It's got Walton Goggins in it. It's got Dominic West in it. It's got Tomb Raider. She's tombing about. She's falling off things. She's hitting her head on things, falling into water, making 50 feet jumps. She's
shooting bow and arrows.
Shooting bow and arrows. Yeah. I mean, you like the video game, right?
Yeah, I like the new game.
If it was a straight adaptation of that, just a condensed version of that, would that be good?
Yeah, that'd be good.
But this is not that.
This doesn't. Yeah, no. Or maybe it is that. Maybe my opinion's warped. I don't know.
So you're saying that this is not going to break the video game movie streak?
I don't think so. No. I think it looks almost like an Assassin's Creed kind of deal.
Yeah, it looks. Yeah, I don't know. I don't anticipate it being good. I'll go see it, but I'm not expecting good things out of it. Let's put it that way. March 23rd, Pacific Rim Uprising.
Yay.
Yeah, giant robots,
Monsters.
Giant kaiju, giant monsters. They're all fighting each other. Even the robots are fighting the robots this time around.
Yeah, it's so cool.
Fuck yeah. Sign me up, baby. Yay. March 29th, Ready Player One from Steven Spielberg.
I'm going to say yay.
I am going to say yay as well. Based on the trailer, the most recent trailer, I was pretty happy with it, and I thought that it looked pretty interesting. I think that there's a very real possibility it turns out to be also a huge piece of shit. But again, based on what I've seen, based on my gut feeling, I'm gonna stick with it and say that I'm a yay on it. I'm definitely looking forward to watching it. And he said it's just a matter of does it live up to expectations? Because for a while I'd heard good things about the book, and then I've seen some excerpts posted online, and it was just a diarrhea of 80s references. So I was just like, oh well. Maybe getting it out of a written form might actually do wonders for it. But then again,
right.
It's I don't know. It's nostalgia overdrive certainly, but hopefully it can be wrapped in an actual nice story and stuff like that. But we'll see. Spielberg, so
we'll see where it goes.
Agreed. Let's get into April. April 6th, Chappaquiddick.
Chappaquiddick. What's that one about?
Chappaquiddick, it's Jason Clarke and Kate Mara. It's about Ted Kennedy, whose political career became derailed after a car accident.
That one looked really... I seem to remember a trailer. I think I saw a trailer somewhere for this.
Yeah, I feel like we watched the trailer for this together. I don't know if we saw it in front of a movie or if we're just looking at shit, but I remember this looking... I remember not knowing anything about it, but then, watching it and be like, okay, yeah, I'm in the bag for this. So I'm going yay on it.
Yeah, I'll say yay.
Cool. Same day, A Quiet Place. John Krasinski. I'm sorry, Jim from The Office is what I meant to say. And Jim from The Office's wife, Emily Blunt. They're in a family, and there's aliens or monsters lurking, and they have to stay quiet. Otherwise they're gonna get them. So it's a horror movie. I think is kind of generally what's going on with this. Directed by Jim from The Office as well.
Ooh.
So there was a teaser for this. I think there was a Super Bowl spot for this too.
They're pushing it pretty hard. I've seen it at a lot of places actually.
Yeah. I'm interested.
Yeah, we'll see where it goes.
Yeah, again, could go either way, but based on what I've seen, I'm interested. I'm interested enough to wander into a theater and see it. Even if I didn't have a movie pass, I might even see this one, unless it tanked it with the reviews.
For me, it's got those. It's got like those Insidious vibes. It's got those. What's another one of those movies?
I mean, at least the first couple Insidiouses were fine. I mean, they weren't anything
I never saw
amazing, but they're certainly better than. I think it's better than some of your other horror fare that you can kind of get into. Because I said horror is a difficult genre to pull off. It really is, but.
I think if they do this one right, because of the sound design and stuff that it has the potential for, I think it could be really good. So we'll see how Jim from The Office handles something like this. So
that's fair.
I'm curious.
April 13th, Overboard and Truth or Dare. Overboard is the remake of the Kurt Russell Goldie Hawn movie of the same name. This one's got Eugenio Derbez and Anna Faris in it, and it looks terrible. That's an instant nay. Truth or Dare is a Blumhouse entry, so those are the guys who've been doing a lot of low-budget horror movies recently. Get Out, Split, Happy Death Day.
Yay.
I say Blumhouse has had a pretty good streak rolling on of solid horror films. Maybe nothing groundbreaking either, but pretty fun if nothing
Get Out
else.
was pretty fucking groundbreaking. That was pretty awesome.
Well, yeah, I think that's kind of the exception.
Exception to the rule,
yeah. But I'll give it a yay, pending Further developments, I guess, shall we say. April 20th, we get Three-Headed Attack from Rampage with Dwayne Johnson and some giant motherfucking
George.
Giant animals. I guess they're not really monsters because they are.
Actually, only one of those things resembles a real animal. I don't know why the
I guess that's true.
The other ones kind of look like mutated and shit, but George remained looking like an ape, or a gorilla. Let me rephrase that.
A gorilla's an ape.
Is gorilla an ape? I feel like they're a different classification.
No, apes and monkeys are kind of
apes and monkeys. That's okay. I see what you're saying.
That's where you run into trouble, especially with me because I'm an anthropology major, boy. No,
get it right, bitch.
I gotta tout my degree somehow because I put it into practice a lot,
Right.
Super Troopers 2, also April 20th.
Yay.
I was confused. Are you confident or not?
No, that was like a sarcastic yay. Not like a sarcastic yay, but like, of course it's not going to be an A. It's Super Troopers.
Oh, okay, I see it. So you're like, bitch, why would you even ask me if that's a year and A? Was that what your attitude was?
Yeah.
You're showing me some tude?
Like, yay. Like that. That was probably more appropriate. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, fair. Yeah. We'll see if it lives up to the first one, but certainly exciting that it is happening. And then lastly, Tully. Charlize Theron reunited with Jason Reitman. They worked together on Young Adults, and he's done a bunch of other stuff, but Up in the Air, Thank You for Smoking, Juno, a few others. Same writer as Juno and a Young Adult. She's a mother of three, and I think it's just kind of a drama about motherhood. I don't really know that there's anything more to it than kind of what we've seen. But
that could be pretty good.
It's one of those things. I think it could be good.
I think it's got a lot of pedigree behind it, so I'll say yay.
Right. All right. Jumping into May 4th. It's a very small independent feature called Avengers: Infinity War. Have you heard of it?
Who's in it?
I think it's got this guy named Dobert Rowney Jr. and
some dude named Chris.
There's a bunch of fucking Chris's in it. I think everyone in it is named Chris, and then Tom Holland, My name's Tom Holland, and I play Spider-Man in Avengers Infinity War. How do you do?
Some guy named Josh. There's Josh, a Tom, and a Chris.
There might even be a Jeremy in it. There might even be a Jeremy in it. Jeremy might be in it, yeah.
Oh, fuck yeah. Oh, I'd say I'm in. I'm in for that, of course.
Yeah. Well, I think in all seriousness, the fact that we're doing 3 bonus episodes centered entirely around all the events leading up to Infinity War suggests that we're pretty excited about Infinity War. So
we've been waiting for this moment since what was the first movie to show Thanos?
First Avengers.
Was that the first one?
First one, yeah. That was the mid credits.
Well, since we first
stinger.
let me rephrase that. Since we first saw the Infinity Stone.
I mean, Tesseract is probably the first one we've officially seen. So
yeah, I mean, we've been pumped up for this for quite a while.
Indeed.
So there's a decade worth of hype behind that movie.
Yes, certainly. What else do we got? Life of the Party, May 11th, Melissa McCarthy. She's going back to college, man. She's a mom, and she's going back to college, and it's funny because she's old.
Nay.
Yep, moving on. May 18th, Deadpool 2.
Yay.
I agree with that. We got a little first look at Cable, a little introduction to Cable.
Oh man, it's gonna be so badass.
Yeah, it looks like a fun. It definitely looks like a lot of fun. They even got a nice dig in on Justice League's mustache gate in the trailer itself, which I enjoyed quite a bit.
Yeah,
having spoken about it multiple times on this very podcast. It looks great. Looks like a lot of fun. Looks like they're keeping in line with what the first one was, and visually seems like they're kind of up in the ante. You know, we got Cable, we got Domino, you got Deadpool, we got Mr. Poole himself coming back. So fuck yeah.
That's it.
And a Flashdance poster, we also saw that as well. A fun homage. Enjoyed that. May 25th, Solo: A Star Wars Story. We finally know what to expect, or at least have some idea of what to expect with Solo: A Star Wars Story. We've got not just a Super Bowl spot, we've got a full teaser trailer, and we've got 4 character posters that have been released. This movie is officially happening. It's real.
Yeah, it's a real thing.
It's a real thing.
And it looks pretty cool. I'll take it.
I agree. This is my hot take for the day. I think this looks pretty good. I am surprised by how I'm surprised by how much I enjoyed the material that was released for this. I know the internet's not a big fan of Alden Ehrenreich at the moment, but he's in a tough position. You know, he's not Harrison Ford, and the only person that is Harrison Ford, and Harrison Ford is certainly not young enough to play Han Solo again. Again, do we need this movie? Do we need Han Solo's backstory? Maybe not, but again, Lucasfilm has not done any wrong for me since you know, the whole Disney acquisition, since they've kind of relaunched Star Wars. So based on this, visually it looks awesome. It's the same cinematographer that did Arrival.
Yeah, you could tell it's got some chops behind that camera.
Yeah, seriously, they say the shot of the Star Destroyer coming through like the nebula,
yeah, the clouds.
Yeah, that looks fucking amazing. So this looks good. And Donald Glover, Lando, Emilia Clarke, Khaleesi, it's Kira, Woody Harrelson, man, fucking Woody Harrelson.
Woody Harrelson, man, that's right.
He's playing Woody Harrelson in it, I think. as he's wont to do, but fuck yeah, I love Woody Harrelson. So I think this looks like a lot of fun. Those character posters I thought were really quite badass. Also, I forgot about a certain walking carpet that's going to be in this movie, Chewbacca.
No, that's a Sandman.
That was very mummy-esque. Was that a mummy Chewbacca?
That was a Sandman.
Oh, a Tusken Raider. Okay, I see now. I understand now. You just want to do Chewbacca noises for the rest of this episode?
You just do Star Wars sound effects.
Solo.
You think we're gonna get? Yeah.
Tiwarawanga.
Warawanga.
De Jabba no Bata.
Fucking Star Wars, so good.
Yeah. Looking forward to it. Yeah.
It's Star Wars.
I'm giving it a yay. June 8th, Ocean's 8, Sandra Bullock, Kate Blanchett, Rihanna, Awkwafina, all the one-name performers, baby. They're still in it. Helena Bonham Carter, Mindy Kaling, Sarah Paulson, Anne Hathaway. strong cast. Let's put it that way. Trailer not awe-inspiring.
No, I don't know. I don't get it.
I'm going nay on it, even though I'll see it. I'm not excited for it. I'm sure it'll be fine. I don't know if it'll be anything great, but based on what I've seen, it doesn't exactly rev my engines or anything like that. So, well, yeah, we'll see. June 15th, Pixar's The Incredibles Dose.
Absolute yay.
Yeah. It was a really good teaser actually of showing nothing from the movie, but still being enough to be like, that's a fucking cool logo reveal. Amen.
Right.
Plus, the first Incredibles is the best like family superhero film ever committed to film at this point. It's what the Fantastic Four should be, and has failed miserably at doing so.
Right.
So yeah, I'm in for this. Fucking, it's Pixar, man. Like, yeah.
Why wouldn't you? Yeah.
Exactly. June 22nd, Jurassic World: Fallen Kingdom.
I don't know.
Yeah. We did get a new trailer for this. We did get a new trailer for this kind of after the Super Bowl. I thought it was a better trailer than the first one we got, but I am not feeling the vibe that this movie has given me. It just feels wholly unnecessary. Like it feels like a DLC pack for Jurassic World that they're just shoving out the door.
It does.
You know,
a DLC pack, that's good.
To me, it doesn't seem like anything that's bringing anything interesting to the table from what we've seen from the marketing materials, and just the way that the trailers are edited, the whole downtrodden version of the Jurassic Park theme. I'm just not feeling it. I'm going nay on it. I mean, I will see it.
You'll go see it.
I'll go see it, but I'm just not feeling it.
We might even cover it, you know?
I mean, it's going to make some money, certainly, but I don't know. I just don't see this. I don't see this being kind of the phenomenon that Jurassic World was, but we'll see. June 29th, Sicario 2, Soldado, I think, as you sometimes call it.
Yeah, it is Soldado, isn't it?
You got Josh Brolin, Benicio, the back baby.
They're Soldado.
They're soldadding.
Soldadding, yeah. I'll take it. Yeah. Benicio del Toro, I'll take it.
Again,
period.
One of those things, unnecessary. I don't think Sicario needed a sequel.
Of course.
But Taylor Sheridan's back. I think he's writing this one too. So
far he has done no wrong.
Exactly. So yeah, it's a yay for me. July 4th, the first Purge. Did you see the poster for this?
No.
It's the Trump "Make America Great" hat again, except it says the first Purge on it.
No, that's pretty good.
So
that's pretty good.
I think they might be trying to get a little bit topical with it.
Yeah, the first Purge. That's pretty good. I like that. It's funny.
I haven't seen any of them past the first one, which I thought sucked ass. So anyway, July 6th, Ant-Man and the Wasp. Yeah, we got a trailer for this a couple of weeks back. Looks fucking awesome. We got some badass wasp action, running along the knife. Lots of shrinking and enlarging of things. That sounds dirty.
Sometimes you need it.
I mean, they might be pairing them together. They might be doing some shrinking and enlarging of a different sort. Who's to say? Probably won't see it depicted in graphic detail in a Marvel movie, but it's not out of the realm of possibility. But speaking of realms, I think we'll see the microverse, I think, a little bit more extensively in it. We know Michelle Pfeiffer is on board as Janet Van Dyne, the original Wasp. Michael Douglas back as Hank Pym, the OG Ant-Man. And this looks like a lot of fun. The villain is Ghost, played by Hannah John Kamen, and she's got I think she's got phasing abilities with her suit. So I don't know. I mean, I think this looks really fun. So
yeah, man. The first one was so fresh.
Right.
It was I really enjoyed it. It's the only Marvel movie I haven't seen more than once, and I enjoyed it.
Well, that'll change soon enough.
Yeah, man. Yeah, with our second bonus episode found on Patreon, which can be found at watchreviewrepeat.com/premium.
Mm-hmm. Indeed. Nice plug. Well crafted. July 13th, Skyscraper, also with Dwayne Johnson. He's fighting a building, baby. This is the movie everyone's been waiting for. The Rock versus a motherfucking skyscraper. I mean, it's not really about that. It's about him. He's got to save his family because they're in a burning building, and he's got to do things. But there's a twist, baby. There's a twist.
He's only got one leg.
He's only got one leg to do it with. Oh, how will he ever survive? Oh, no.
It's like those, I'll beat your ass with one arm tied behind my back. He says, a fucking scale of burning skyscraper with only one leg.
It's The Rock, baby. You
I
know,
actually
that's-
I kind of got like, what's the, God damn it, what's the one with Bruce Willis?
It's very Die Hard.
Die Hard, yes. Yeah, I got Die Hard vibes when I watched that trailer or the TV spot or whatever. It was on the Super
I mean, honestly, it looks entertaining enough. I don't know. I don't think it's going to be good, but it does look entertaining enough. So I'll give it a bloody whirl. I'll give it a bloody whirl. You know,
Yeah.
July 20th, Alita: Battle Angel.
I got to see more because it looked like a video game.
Yeah, they got to do something with the CG or something because it looks rough. It's obviously months away, so I don't know. It's just straight uncanny valley. I don't know if that's the whole purpose of it, but if it is, it's a bad purpose, and they need to get rid of it. So that's my take on it. Other than that, I think it looks fine. I'm interested in it.
I like Homeboy. What the fuck's his name? Christoph Waltz.
Christoph Waltz. Yeah,
he's
agreed.
cool.
Agreed. Well, I just lost my train of thought. James Cameron was attached to do this for the longest time, and I think I don't know if he ended up writing this version of it, but I think he's still producing it. So I think he's very heavily involved in it, but it's actually being directed by Robert Rodriguez. Mexico trilogy, Spy Kids trilogy, amongst many other things. Planet Terror, Sin City, Machete. So yeah. We'll see how it goes.
Yeah, absolutely.
July 27th, Mission Impossible, Fallout, starring the cruise missile.
The cruise missile.
Cruise missile, man. I think we talked about this a couple weeks ago. I mean, we got the title announcement at that point, but now we've got a full trailer on it. We got a cool poster, a little James Bond-esque poster. But as far as the trailer is concerned, fuck yes, dude. Fuck yes. This looks awesome. I fucking think the Mission Impossible franchise is the best running action franchise at this point in time. I mean, basically
It's the only movie where they fight on fucking motorcycles, okay? It's the only series.
3 on. It is the best running action franchise that I can think of. I'm sure there's probably something that's maybe slightly better, but in terms of pure consistency and bring in some cool stuff. I mean, yes, every movie Ethan Hunt gets disavowed, and he's got to be scrappy. He's got to he's on the run. He's that's every movie, to be fair, but this one looks fucking cool. They're bringing back a lot of the cast. Rebecca Ferguson's back from Rogue Nation. Michelle Monaghan's back from 3, and I think she might have been in 4. Alec Baldwin, Simon Pegg, Ving Rhames, Angela Bassett, and
it's the whole crew.
And Henry Cavill sporting a glorious mustache.
Ooh, we get to see why they got to ruin. I'm excited. Why would they got to ruin Justice League?
Yeah.
With the fucking mustache gate.
Yeah, I think this looks like I'm really excited for this. It's Chris McQuarrie who did the 5th one, Rogue Nation. So it's the first time in the franchise that a director's ever returned. So I think that tonally it'll probably be pretty similar. And I thought Rogue Nation was fantastic. So yeah, I'm giving it a yay. August. And to be fair, this is kind of where we're starting to get in the dead period. So we might be skipping around a few weeks and
looking for shit.
Yeah, August 3rd, The Predator from Shane Black. Kiss Kiss Bang Bang, The Nice Guys, Iron Man 3.
And a moving poster with lightning and a predator.
And a moving poster with lightning. But we do know that it's going to have a predator in it, and he's probably going to gorily kill some people.
Yay.
I'm a yay on it. It's a yeah, I like the Predator franchise a lot. Well, I like the first Predator a lot. I love the design of the Predator. I would like another movie that can stand up with the first one as being past the novelty of the creature itself. So we'll see. I think again, talent's there. It's a good cast too. So yeah, definitely a yay for me. What else do we got? Anything else on August that looks exciting? Equalizer 2, Denzel Washington. I didn't see the first one, so I don't care. Scarface remake.
What?
Definitely a movie that didn't need a remake.
What?
I don't see any
Who's
information
attached to that shit?
I don't know. I was looking at it. I was like, it's listed on this list that I'm looking at here, but I don't see any details on it, so maybe it's not exactly a 2018. Diego Luna, I guess, is attached in it. He was Cassian in Rogue One.
What?
Yeah, I don't need this. Nay. Get it out of here.
Yeah, what the fuck?
Get it out of here. I lost my list. Hold on.
There's a Robin Hood set in the future.
Is it set in the future?
They're dressed like they were set in the future.
That's September. That's not August. You're jumping ahead. Stop jumping ahead. You
Oh,
crazy man.
fuck. I'm sorry.
You're a crazy man.
I'm so excited.
You're so excited. We'll get to it in a minute. I mean, honestly, there's not really a whole lot in August that's catching my eye of things. I'm like, replicas. It's got Keanu Reeves. It's a little sci-fi thriller action.
Okay.
Yeah, I saw the trailer for it. It didn't blow my socks off, but
what did it look like? Did it look cool?
Basically, his family dies in a car accident, and he's a scientist, and he tries to figure out a way to bring him back.
Okay.
The trailer did not inspire confidence, let's put it that way, but I like me some Keanu Reeves, so I'm not expecting good things, but how could I look past Slender Man? They're making a Slender Man movie.
Oh man.
All right, moving on. September, let's get into September. Alpha, September 14th, that's the one. Takes place 20,000 years ago. He's got a dog friend. I guess it's a wolf technically. But it's
nay.
Yeah, I don't know. It's
fucking dog friends.
I don't know. It's a wolf. I corrected myself, okay?
Okay.
I don't know. I've seen the trailer for this for it feels like it's been in theaters for like a year. I think this one's gotten delayed a couple times.
That inspires confidence.
Yeah. Just dump it, baby. Just put it in February and call it a day. That's the way to do it. Except for Black Panther. I think Black Panther's going to break that trend pretty readily. Johnny English 3. I didn't know there was a Johnny English 2, but cool.
Is that the one with Mr. Bean?
Yep, that's Mr. Bean. That's
Mr. Bean still making movies?
It's Rowan Atkinson. It might be the first movie he's made in a decade. It feels like it is, but I could be wrong about that.
I just know him as Mr. Bean. I didn't know he was anything other than Mr. Bean.
Apparently
he was in Rat Race where he fell asleep. He was a narcoleptic.
Yeah, but that was like 10 plus years ago, so.
And then there was Mr. Bean. So, I don't know.
Mr. Bean. Yeah.
I won't see that.
Yeah, I don't care. All right, here's your baby, Robin Hood Origins.
That's the one with what's-his-face in it. He plays...
It's got Eggsy.
It does have Eggsy, but it also has General... what the fuck's his name? God damn it, I can't remember Star Wars' name.
Oh, I know what you're talking. It's got Ben Mendelsohn.
What the fuck?
Yeah, Orson Krennic, director.
Yeah, yes, Director Krennic.
Director Krennic. Yeah, no, it's got Taron Egerton, Jamie Foxx, Ben Mendelsohn, as you mentioned, Jamie Dornan of 50 Shades fame. It's a gritty take on the classic Robin Hood story, okay?
Produced by Zack Snyder. He makes all the things gritty.
Is it?
No. It wouldn't surprise me, though. It kind of looks like it is.
I just bought that hook, line, and sinker.
Because it looks like it is, right? I'm not wrong.
Yeah, I mean, is there a trailer for this? You just seen some pictures?
I just seen pictures. Did you see the pictures?
I saw the pictures, yeah. Whatever,
yeah,
I'll see it. It's probably not going to be good, but I'll see it.
Yeah. Actually, it looks like there is an Origins trailer. Looks like maybe a teaser.
No,
I don't know.
I'll give it a whirl later. October 5th. Movie we just got a teaser trailer for. Sony's Venom.
Yeah.
Did you enjoy the part in the trailer where we saw what Venom looked like?
There was no exposure to the Venoms.
It's amazing. I think they're trying to make a Venom movie that not only not contains Spider-Man, but it also does not even contain Venom in it.
Well, it's just Venom's going to be in it, dude.
It's just Tom Hardy. He's just Tom Hardying about. He's going to do some voices. He's going to cover his face with a mask of some sort because he's good at that. Look, the nice thing about this teaser is that it is official confirmation that it is not part of the Marvel Cinematic Universe. It's just Sony doing their own thing, and Marvel will probably on the other side of the room be like, Jesus Christ, guys, we're literally trying to make your movies for you. Just let us do our fucking job and we will get all the money. Instead, you're going to try to do the same shit you just tried for the past decade and fuck everything up. And this teaser trailer is an indication, and it's a teaser trailer for a movie that stopped shooting, or I think finished shooting like a week or so ago. There's obviously no effects work that's done for this movie. Why the fuck would you put this teaser trailer out right now? That's what blows my mind, is this is a trailer that tells you, A, nothing about the movie, and B, it doesn't even tell you the title of the movie, and you don't have a shot of Venom in it to tell you what the fuck it even is. There's just a V. It just tells you V. I'm like, what the fuck is V? If I didn't know what this movie was, if I didn't know what the trailer was walking in, I would be completely baffled by what I just saw.
What the fuck is that all about? Right.
No, it's a good cast.
It does look like it might be painful to become Venom. I mean,
he's got some head shaking. So I don't know. There's also a poster for it that showed the Venom eyes, which I guess we did see in the trailer. But again, out of context, if you didn't know what the hell you're looking at, you wouldn't know what you're looking at.
It's a strange looking. I don't know. I'm not even a fan of the Venom eyes. I think the Venom eyes look kind of.
They got some horrible '90s title treatment as well.
Yeah. So
This looks like a disaster to me. That trailer just seems like a huge misstep to me. I think it's way too early in the process for them to release what they did. I think they're trying to ride the Black Panther wave, and I understand that. But boy, that looks rough. Let's just put it that way. October 12th, Goosebumps Horrorland. Sequel to the
Jack Black
Goosebumps movie. Yeah, the Jack Black one that we got a couple years ago, which I heard was pretty solid. I didn't actually see it, but I Horrorland, Welcome to Horrorland was one of my favorite Goosebumps books growing up, and they did like one season of a TV show, I think, too, and that was one of the episodes that I don't know, was there an episode on Horrorland actually? I know they did the one with the mask in it, and I remember that's kind of the one I think that's kind of the quintessential
that's the popular go-to.
Right.
Goosebumps, yeah.
So maybe I'm just misremembering, but
which one was Horrorland?
I mean, it's the amusement park one. Yeah, they go to the amusement park, and it's just kind of like different kind of
scary things.
Yeah, kind of things set around it. I think there was like monsters and stuff inside the theme park or something like that.
I don't know if I ever read that one. I remember
it's been a while. But
I remember the dummy.
Yeah,
and I remember the mask.
Mm-hmm.
And I actually, all of my Goosebump things come from that TV show.
Okay,
I'm not so sure I ever read any Goosebumps.
Yeah, no, I think I kind of came into a already pretty extensive collection of Goosebumps books, having two older brothers. So I definitely read a few growing up. I didn't read all of them, but yeah, I mean, like I said, I heard good things about the first one. I'm curious about this one because it seems to be Horrorland focused. So yeah, that could be interesting. October 19th, Mowgli. This is the Andy Serkis spin on the Jungle Book. So he's directing this, and I don't know exactly how they're doing it. I don't know if it's. I assume this is live action. I really don't know what's going on with that actually, other than really good cast: Kate Blanchett, Christian Bale, Cumberbatch, Andy Serkis, a few other names. But yeah, I mean, it's kind of odd timing given that we just got a pretty well received Jungle Book adaptation already. From Johnny V, sometimes known as Jon Favreau.
My boy, Johnny V.
Johnny V, baby. Yeah. I mean, what do you? I mean, just do you have any interest in a Mowgli movie?
Yeah, the fucking Mowgli, man. I like the Jungle Book. So if I can see not necessarily a retelling of a current story, but if I can see an extension of that character. I'd be down to see that. Sure.
Cool. All right. What are we looking at now? October 26th, Overlord. This will be retitled. This is the fourth Cloverfield movie. And it's coming to theaters as of now in October of 2018 from Paramount.
What?
Story of two American soldiers behind enemy lines on D-Day. Action, horror, mystery is what IMDb categorized it as.
What the fuck is this? This is Overlord?
Mm-hmm. This is Cloverfield 4.
No, you lie.
I'm
you
not
lying?
Nope. Fourth installment in the Cloverfield universe.
Fuck yeah, dude. Hell yes. That sounds fucking cool.
So I don't know how it'll tie into it. But like I said, I would expect a retitle to keep the naming consistent between all of them, or at least something in it.
And JJ quote unquote says this is going to be a crazy movie. I've read this on the internets.
Well,
that sounds fucking
He wouldn't
cool.
lie. He wouldn't dare lie.
But you don't see too many times like historical fiction with like sci-fi horror tropes. You never see that. At least, I mean, I can't. I don't know. None come to mind, anyways. That sounds fucking cool.
I do not know. November. This is kind of when things really start to pick up in a big way. November 2nd, Mulan, live action Mulan. From Disney, starring Liu Yifei as Mulan, who we previously had a conversation about because we couldn't figure out how to pronounce her name. I agree. Sounds good. Nutcracker in the Four Realms. We talked about the teaser that we saw for that. Keira Knightley.
Alice in Wonderland
Morgan
Part
Freeman.
3.
Yep. Alice in Wonderland Part 3. Yeah, we'll see. I'll watch it. It'll be fine, I'm sure. X-Men Dark Phoenix also coming out with Sophs. It's got Sophs Turner in it as the the Phoenix, Jessica Chastain playing the villain, and it's got your favorites from the last stellar X-Men entry, X-Men Apocalypse, coming back. Michael Fassbender, James McAvoy, and J. Law, Jennifer Lawrence as the leader of the X-Men Mystique. That was a joke. I mean, it wasn't a joke because it's an actual thing, but it was supposed to prompt some sort of groan. It's directed by Simon Kinberg, so it's out of Bryan Singer's hands. Probably lots of things that will be out of Bryan Singer's hands for a while, hopefully forever.
Hopefully. And never mind. I was going to make a low-hanging fruit joke, but no, I don't need to make it. Yeah. Anyways,
we know we know what you're thinking. Yeah, what do you think about this? X-Men Dark Phoenix. Good, bad? Where you at with it? Yay or nay?
Yay. I'll go see it. I don't know anymore with X-Men, man. I'm just glad I'm glad that Marvel bought that shit. So eventually, maybe we'll get.
It's not officially official yet. It hasn't. It hasn't gone into effect yet. Let's put it this way. But I think this will probably be the last X-Men movie we see of the proper team. I guess let's put it that way. Right. I'm yay in the sense of I'll go see it because I'm interested. I'm nay in the sense that I think it's probably going to be bad based on Apocalypse and everything else. I don't know. November 9th, Girl in the Spider's Web.
What's that all about?
This is I don't know how they're treating it. I don't know if they're doing it as a reboot or if they're treating it as a sequel to, Girl with the Dragon Tattoo.
Oh, okay.
So it's, if it is in fact a sequel, then the entire cast is not coming back because neither Rooney Mara nor Daniel Craig are going to be in this movie as the characters that they played in the Fincher Dragon Tattoo one. So I think this was the fourth book in the series because there was the original trilogy and then this was one that was written later. I don't know if it was written by the original author or not, but it's directed by Fede Alvarez, who did the Evil Dead remake, Don't Breathe. And
well, from what little bit of research I've just done in like 30 seconds, it looks like the girl with the dragon tattoo returns to she plays Elizabeth Salander.
Well, it's the same characters. It's a different actress, though. Is my point. It's the same. It's the same. It's about the same people as that one, but it's been completely recast. So, like I said, Daniel Craig's not coming back. And Rooney Mara is not coming.
Tell you
back.
what I remember from that show was the fucking cover for the trailer. Do you remember that trailer?
Immigrant Song. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, it was Carano. Yeah.
Oh my goodness! What a fucking
and Trent Reznor.
Trent Reznor covers Immigrant Song. It was ridiculous. That made a lasting impression. What a trailer, man! It was awesome. Anyways, I digress.
Dr. Seuss's The Grinch. November 9th as well. This is from Illumination Entertainment, Despicable Me studio. It's an animated version of The Grinch. It is not a live-action incarnation like the Jim Carrey was back in the day. Grumpy Grinch plots to ruin Christmas for the village of Whoville. Wow, that sounds like The Grinch, doesn't it?
Danny Elfman's composing the musics.
Benedict Cumberbatch is voicing The Grinch. That's pretty fun.
I'm in.
I like that. I'm in. Yeah, that sounds good. November 16th, Fantastic Beasts, The Crimes of Grindelwald, starring...
Johnny Depp's hair,
Johnny Depp and his
hair, and his white eyebrows,
and his peach fuzz mustache.
Eyebrows, dude. He's got eyebrows in this one. You seen his eyebrows?
I've seen it. I've seen it all. I've seen everything. You know what? Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them was solid.
It's good. Yeah, no, I like it.
I'll give this one a flyer.
Fuck yeah, I'll go see it like opening day.
I'm not thrilled about the increased presence of Johnny Depp, but I think excluding that, I think this it intrigues me if nothing else. So I look forward to seeing the trailer for it.
Yeah, absolutely.
November 21st. Couple big ones. Creed 2. I'm excited about that. They cast someone to play Ivan Drago's son. Ivan Drago was Dolph from the original Rocky films. To me, that kind of sounds... Oh, apparently Dolph himself is coming back. That's kind of cool. But I kind of... This to me seems like it's kind of immediately veering into Rocky sequel territory, in the sense that It seems like it might be becoming a little bit too ridiculous for its own good. I mean, the first Creed for me, I cannot say enough about, but I'm just like, all right, like, do we need to tie it again to everything that happened in the first, Rocky films? It kind of seems like a little too much for me, but it could be fine. It's got everyone coming back. So
Creed was amazing.
If nothing else, I think that's cool. Ryan Coogler not coming back as the director is kind of probably what worries me. If he was definitely in the director's chair, I would be 100% on board, because he's doing Black Panther now, and presumably it's many sequels that it's going to get. But also November 21st, Ralph Breaks the Internet, Wreck-It Ralph 2.
I'm gonna wreck it. I'm gonna wreck it.
That's a lot of fun. This is straight from Disney.
Oh, I laughed so hard. God damn it, I feel lightheaded. God damn it. Ooh, I feel...
Well then.
I love it. I love Wreck-It Ralph, dude.
Yeah.
Wreck-It Ralph's so fucking good.
Yeah.
He's got those ridiculous forearms and...
Don't kill yourself over there, mate. It's just a movie.
Listen, I was just so excited when I saw that fucking... Listen, okay, there's not many times in my miserable adult life that I get kid sentiments when I see things, okay? Some of the Marvel movies, yeah. When I see somebody kicking ass, yeah. But when I saw the poster for Wreck-It Ralph, I got really excited.
You got the feels.
I got the feels, man. Wreck-It Ralph was so fucking cool. Anyways, I digress. I like fucking Wreck-It Ralph, and I'm 110% into Wreck-It Ralph cartoon coming out again. So good. And this time, he's going to wreck the internet, which is even more cool. So we'll see what happens.
Mm-hmm. December 2018. 14th, we've got a couple scheduled for release. Mortal Engines. It's about cities that are moving on wheels because
why the
reasons.
Fuck not? Right?
It's Peter Jackson involved. He's not directing it, but
like,
we'll
what
see.
doesn't make it. I could see it.
It's got Hugo Weaving in it.
Okay, all right. Well, I digress.
And Stephen Lang.
Whatever.
He's probably driving the fucking city. He's evolved from goddamn Max from Avatar to driving motherfucking cities. What do you think about that?
Yeah, well, I won't say any more about this shit then. Hugo Weaving
I don't
can carry
know.
that shit on his own.
Yeah. I'm not 100% sold on it, but I'm.
It just doesn't make any sense to put a city on a fucking wheels. Okay, if you're driving on something, why not put the city on the thing you're driving on? It just doesn't make any sense to me. I hope there's a good reason for it.
We will find out.
I can understand a floating city. I could understand a city somewhere in the sky or space because there's no place to put the city. But if you're driving around on ground, why not just put the city on the ground?
Okay,
so.
Well, I'm gonna counter your argument by saying that not only, I'm looking at a plot description here, not only is it about gigantic moving cities that roam the earth, it's about them battling each other. So we better get some fucking straight on city versus city combat action, some straight vehicular mayhem in the form of
Peter,
giant fucking cities.
What hath you wrought on the world with your?
It's based on a series of books, so it's not like he's the one that's created it. He's just obviously a fan of the franchise.
All right, well,
also, December 14th, Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. This one's by Phil Lord and Chris Miller. Wrote the script, got kicked off the Han Solo movie, but still doing this one, baby. It's about Miles Morales, the Ultimate Spider-Man, voiced by Shamik Moore from Dope. Cast rounded out by Liev Schreiber, Mahershala Ali, and Jim from The Office playing old Peter Parker himself.
God damn, Jim from The Office is
he's an early contender for Who Won the Year award, isn't he?
yeah, he is. He's kicking ass.
But that could go south if any of those projects that he's doing are just complete shit. So
it just goes to show you get buff and you win. Yeah,
he went on the Marvel diet. He was ready for a Marvel role. I mean, he was up for Captain America. He was up for Captain America back in the day. Bring him in as Reed Richards. I'm okay with it.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Yeah. December 21st.
No, this all bullshit aside, this Into the Spider-Verse looks it looks bonkers. It looks really nice.
Yeah, the animation style is fucking incredible.
Yeah, so fun fact, I made it my desktop.
This is what Sony should be doing. Make fucking cool animated movies while you work with Marvel on like the live action and
capitalize on your position.
Right.
But they don't.
let Spider-Man. I mean, I guess they don't profit from Spider-Man being in Avengers, but I mean, Homecoming was fucking awesome. Like, we're obviously we're getting a sequel to that, and I get they don't want to kind of rest on their laurels too much, but this will make you money. This looks cool. It's got a talented cast, talented people involved. It's everything Venom isn't, So anyway, December 21st, Aqua Bro, also known as Aquaman. It's a man. Would you even say that he is your man? Would you say that he's your man if you had to?
My man.
I'm glad you took the bait. I appreciate it. Aquaman. This is directed by James Wan, who he did Fast and Furious 7, but prior to that, he's mostly known for his horror roots. He was one that worked on a lot of the Insidious movies. Listen, this is going to be a hot take. I think this movie is going to be totally fine.
Oh.
I think that it's out of the shadow of Justice League. It's out of the Zack Snyder's shadow. I think that James Wan's a talented filmmaker. I think Momoa is fine. He's definitely game for the role. It's not what I would do with an Aquaman, but I think that based on the lack of any information that we have other than one picture of Jason Momoa standing without a shirt, I think it's going to be fine. It's got a pretty good cast. Amber Heard is Queen Mira. I think Willem Dafoe's in it, and Patrick Wilson I think is playing the villain, Ocean Master. So Aquaman's fucking cool. People give Aquaman a lot of shit, and I understand why they kind of changed him into this version of Aquaman to kind of maybe try to work against that argument. But I think that this movie's going to be fine. That's my hot take for the year for 2018.
Well, you can put our opinions against each other because I have a feeling it's going to be dog shit.
Well, we'll find out in a year.
We'll find out in a year.
Just a little less, but also the 21st, Bumblebee. The
Bumblebee tuna.
Bumblebee tuna. Bumblebee tuna. Bumblebee tuna. Shakaka.
Shakaka.
Shakaka. No, this is the Bumblebee of the Transformers variety.
What? They gave Bumblebee his own movie?
Yeah, well, not only did they give Bumblebee his own movie, they put John motherfucking Cena in it.
No!
1987, Bumblebee finds refuge in a junkyard in a small Californian beach town. Charlie, on the cusp of turning 18 and trying to find her place in the world, discovers Bumblebee, battle-scarred and broken. Charlie is not played by John Cena, by the way. Charlie is played by Haley Steinfeld, who's pretty good, but it's all about the John Cena, baby.
Yeah.
John Cena.
You can't see me. Oh man.
I don't. He's playing Agent Burns. He seems like he'd be a good Agent Burns. This movie is going to be trash, but I'm in for it.
I don't think John Cena could play any sort of agent. He's just out of proportion. He's not functional as a human being. I don't.
Yeah, his suits aren't tailored very well. Let's put it that way.
How do you even make a suit for John Cena to be an agent?
Anyway,
that's going to be dog shit as well.
So you're nay on that. Okay, very well. Like I said, I'll see it because I mean, it sounds too ridiculous to be true. So, kind of excited from that standpoint of this is going to be a massive train wreck. I'm more excited for it than the Transformers because at least the Transformers I'm like, I know what I'm getting. This one I'm like, fucking Bumblebee and John Cena. I mean, what is that? What is even happening here? This is ridiculous. So, Holmes and Watson also coming out December 21st. Now, this is a comedic take on Holmes and Watson, starring the likes of Will Ferrell and John C. Reilly as Sherlock Holmes and John Watson, respectively.
All right.
Does that strike your fancy?
Yeah, I'll watch it.
That sounds fun. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it could be bad, but it sounds fun. So I'll give it a yay. And our last weekend that we have scheduled for all of 2018, December 25th, Christmas Day, a couple releases: Bohemian Rhapsody, starring Rami Malek,
Mr. Robot.
Yeah, man, Mr. Robot. Rami Malek as Freddie Mercury, and originally directed by Bryan Singer, now directed by Dexter Fletcher. After some things happened with Bryan Singer that we've kind of alluded to. I would say I'm interested in it. Queen, I like Queen a lot. Freddie Mercury is fucking great. The one picture that we did get looked pretty good likeness. I mean, certainly as much as he could have. So yeah, I mean, not much to work off of, obviously, but it could be good. And then Mary Poppins Returns, starring Michael Rooker as Yondu, because he looks like Mary Poppins. Did you get it? It's a Guardians of the Galaxy joke.
I do get it. Yes.
It's funnier because they explained it. No. It's Emily Blunt, wife of Jim from The Office.
Okay.
Also, just amazing in her own respect. But
she plays Mary Poppins.
She's Mary Poppins. Yeah, she's returning.
Okay.
So
does Jim from The Office play Mr. Poppins?
I don't know about that. As far as I know, Jim from The Office is not in this one. So.
Oh, it wouldn't surprise me if he was, though. He has one movie a month coming out this year. I don't know how this dude scheduled all this shit, but he's in a lot of stuff.
He is in a lot of stuff, but yeah, this could be fun. It's Mary Poppins. It's classic. I'm curious to see how they kind of bring it to life in a modern sense. So that's it. That's it for 2018, man. We've done it.
Woo! It's a lot of stuff.
There's a lot of stuff. And we'll be talking plenty more about probably a good amount of these movies that we've mentioned here. So on that note, is there anything you wanted to talk about that you've been up to recently?
I've been buying a lot of movies.
Have you been watching a lot of movies?
I have been watching a lot of movies. Here recently I watched the Carbon Fiber, or the not Carbon Fiber, Altered Carbon. I watched the Cloverfield Paradox. But I've also watched some stuff that came out, I watched It Follows, which was awesome. I bought this movie about mermaids called The Lure. And I don't know, it's like a foreign horror film musical, so I don't know, we'll see where it goes, but I've been trying new things, so we'll see what happens.
Good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. What have you been up to?
Well, I think we're both up to date on Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., right?
Oh, we are. Yeah.
So they kind of wrapped up their sort of wrapped up their space arc. They spoilers made it back to Earth by the end of the episode, or presumably they showed it in the preview. So it happens, but it's on a month break right now. So they kind of the first pod for the season 5, I guess, is over now, and I thought it was fucking awesome. I know you kind of talked a couple weeks that you weren't loving Casillas, but I thought he was a fucking good villain. I thought, so this to me was Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Flying at full mast. I thought that this was fucking really, really solid. And
the conclusion to wait, can we talk about this?
Yeah.
Yeah, the conclusion to Casillas was satisfactory. I enjoyed that.
Yeah, that one-on-one fight with Mac I thought was pretty awesome.
Yeah.
And,
and fucking Yo-Yo, future Yo-Yo with her fucking arms.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness, dude.
See, their agent, they're taking it in really crazy directions for this show. No
she
fucks
stands
given
up and she's got no fucking arms,
awesome.
And she's all tortured, and it's like, oh my god, dude, it's fucked up.
So,
anyways,
anyway,
it was
Agents
pretty good
S.H.I.E.L.D.
episode. I enjoyed
it. It has already.
Oh, and the robot kills himself, sacrifices himself. A lot of good shit happened in this last episode.
Fucking Enoch is great, man. Flint's cool. It's good. I like it a lot. I think Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. is well worth your time, and the season 5 is just another. It's just another example of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. being one of the best superhero shows on television. So, do it. I also saw The Greatest Showman with Wolverine in it. A huge jacked man, I think, as he is sometimes known.
Right.
I thought it was totally fine.
It's totally fine?
It's totally fine.
It looked like it could be pretty good, and then it looked like it could be pretty bad. I don't know.
It's a very bad script, wrapped with a nice, pretty package with some solid music in it. So it's just a very one-note, very vanilla story. And a lot of people online are kind of pissed about the way that it portrays P.T. Barnum as basically he was a massive shitbag in real life, to say the least. He is not depicted as such in this movie, but it's not exactly a movie striving for historical accuracy, so I don't really hold that against it, honestly. I think that they probably could have just renamed the character and said that it was inspired by, P.T. Barnum's tales, and that would have been fine. That would have probably addressed that criticism pretty readily. But no, it's fine. Everyone's game. The cast is really game for it. Hugh Jackman's good. Who else is in it? Zac Efron, pretty good in it. Zendaya, she was really good. Rebecca Ferguson. So as I say, it's good cast, really good cast. Music's fun to listen to. It's exciting. The sequences, the musical sequences themselves are very lavish, pretty fun to watch, to enjoy, but just the actual story of it. And boy, it is not a subtle movie. It likes to beat you over the head with its themes. So I think that it could have used a bit of more of a deft touch, I think, and kind of crafting it. But yeah, I mean, it's a decent use of 2 hours of your time. I'm not going to tell you to go rush out and see it in theaters, but Netflix, certainly, I think that it'd be a good Netflix recommendation, or streaming kind of whenever it comes out. So that's really been it for me. I've been busy with work.
To be fair, we've been recording and we've been doing a lot of shit with this podcast the past couple weeks.
We have, yeah, recording, editing, and so yeah, it's just a lot that's going into it. But it's all for the podcast. It's worth it.
That's it.
So it's just time consuming. It really is. So that's just kind of the bottom line of it. But yeah, that's it for this episode. Thank you guys for tuning in to another episode of Watch Review Repeats. We hope you guys enjoyed this little bit of a preview for 2018. I know we didn't get really too in-depth with any one thing particularly, but that's what those individual episodes are going to be for. And, there's lots of things to look forward to, lots of things I think that we're looking forward to covering, certainly in the imminent future. Definitely February is a very strong month, at least it's shaping up to be. And so, yeah, that's cool. Spread the word if you would. Talk about us on Facebook, talk about us on Twitter, talk about us wherever, I want you to tell your friends about us.
Absolutely. Tell your friends.
Yeah, no, really though. We're trying to grow it a little bit more, the podcast. We're trying to get some more listeners involved. We obviously appreciate our current stock of listeners, but we're hoping to get some more listeners under our belt. We're 20 plus episodes in at this point, and we've spun up Patreon for some bonus episodes. So we've got lots of things. We're firing on all cylinders, baby. But in regard to the Patreon, as I mentioned at the beginning of the episode, we've got our first bonus episode available for you guys to listen to, and all it costs you is $2 a month to get access to that. It's really not a whole lot, and what it does is it just helps us cover our costs for operating and maintaining this podcast. So it's a little thing, and you're going to get early access to our regular episodes. You're going to get timed exclusive access to those bonus episodes, of which the first one, like I said, is now available. Marvel Cinematic Universe Phase 1. Andrew and myself were joined by Henrique Jamie, and we had a lot of fun talking Iron Man, Thor, Captain America, Hulk, the Avengers, all that comes with the territory. It's a fun episode. I was listening back to it, as I was kind of getting it ready to put out, and there's a lot of good stuff in there. And we've dropped a few references, I think, within this episode. So if you don't know what the hell we're talking about at a certain point, it's probably in reference to that. So you got to stay up to date for the continuity purposes, if nothing else.
Absolutely.
So no, really though. Patreon.com/watchreviewrepeat, or go to watchreviewrepeat.com/premium. Which has all the information about not only our current episode with it, but also just about kind of Patreon generally, and getting you to the right spot to become a patron and help us out a bit. Our website is watchreviewrepeat.com. It's still new. It's still fancy. We're going to harp on it, just as we have been for the past couple of weeks, because we think it's pretty. We put a lot of time into it,
man.
and
it's cool.
we're trying to keep it as functional as possible. So if you have any feedback on that, or if you just are kind of looking for the resources that we're providing, that's the one-stop shop for it. So make sure you head that way. You can get in touch with us on the socials, on the social media. We're on Twitter at WRRPod. I'm at Cbro360, my personal account. Andrew is at DMeadows91. Andrew mentioned his Snapchat, so hop on that too.
I feel like I'm so much more active. I don't think I've ever made a twit.
A tweet. Yeah, the fact that you just called it a twit means that you've never used Twitter before. So you've proven your point effectively, inadvertently.
But I do the snaps. Okay.
He does do the snaps. Yeah, check him out. Yeah, no. He's definitely active on the Snapchat. I can vouch for him there. But
if you just want to hear me laughing and I just laugh a lot.
It's a little slice of Andrew's life. It's fun. It's fun. Get in on it. I'm a little bit less active on it myself, but
anyways, questions, comments, suggestions, anything. Give us some feedback. What do you want to listen to this year? This is the perfect opportunity to decide on if you want to have a guiding hand to what we're going to be covering. So, give us some feedback. Let us know.
Did you say your email?
No, watch, review, repeat at gmail.com.
Yes. Get in touch with us there. Intro and outro tracks Mechanolith by Kevin MacLeod from Incompetech.com. That is licensed under the Creative Commons by Attribution 3.0 license. And last but not least,
next week
we're going to be talking a TV show that we mentioned in the span of this episode.
Altered Carbon.
That's the one. You've watched it in its entirety. I have not watched a single episode. I think I'm going to go start it pretty much right after we stop recording this.
Oh, yeah, dude, go do it.
Because I should probably watch it before we start talking about it. That would, again, probably make sense to do. But I'm also going to try to catch the Cloverfield paradox, so maybe we'll talk about that next week as well. I don't think we're going to do a full extended segment on it, but it's certainly something that I think piques both of our interests, and like I said, I just haven't had time to get around to it, but I will make time for it, and so we'll talk about it next week on our episode as just a little side note. So both of those are on Netflix right now, so
go watch them.
Go watch them, exactly. Go watch Altered Carbon, go watch Cloverfield Paradox, and then come back in a week's time and get in on it. So that will do it for me.
Until next time.
Peace.